takalluf. You know, it's that you have to force yourself until it becomes your nature. I mean, it's not easy. Being human is the highest thing in creation. There's nothing higher. It's higher than the angels. I mean, that's the maqam of Bani Adam, that if you fulfill your humanity, you're higher than the angels. And if you don't, then you're lower than the animals, because you had the potential. The animal could only be what it was made to be. You can go either way, up or down. He said they used to come in seeking, and they would go out guides. I mean, what a beautiful description. They come in ruwada, and they go out adillah. I mean, what a description of his majlis. That people come in looking for something, and they go out showing other people where to find what they were looking for and found it. Allahumma salli alayhi. He said he never spoke except with what was concerned him. He always brought people together and never separated them. يُكْرِمُ كَرِيمَ كُلِّ قَوْمٍ. He would honor the dignitaries of every people. وَيُوَلِّهِ عَلَيْهِمْ. And put him over those people. He guarded himself with people. And he was vigilant because of the makar of people. The Prophet ﷺ knew human nature, and he knows what people are up to. So كَانَ يَحْذَرُهُمْ وَيَحْتَرِسُ مِنْهُمْ. But never by being rude. He would still always smile. مِنْ غَيْرِ أَنْ يَطْوِي عَنْ أَحَدٍ بِشْرَهُ. يَحْذَرُ. But he would still be, he would seek out his companions. He would consider what was beautiful, beautiful, and he would يُصَوِّبُهُ, show people that it was a good thing. And then what was foul, he would show it as foul. And he would make it look يُوَهِّنُهُ. He would make it look insignificant to them, not worth doing. مُعْتَدَلَ الْأَمْرِ غَيْرَ مُخْتَرِفٍ. He was always moderate, and he never departed from that quality. يَغْفُلُ مَخَافَةَ أَنْ يَغْفَلُوا. لا يغفلوا مخافة أن يغفلوا أو يملوا. That he would never be weary of a people. Like when people were speaking, he wouldn't lose his attention out of fear that they would lose their attention and get bored. So he was always present with them. And then وَلِكُلِّ حَالٍ عِنْدُهُ عَتَادٍ. He was ready for anything. مُسْتَعِدْ لِكُلْ شَيْءٍ. He was always ready for everything. The best people for him were the ones that benefited and were the most sincere. وَعَظَمُهُمْ عِنْدَهُمْ مَنْزِلَةً أَحْسَنَهُمْ مُوَاسَةً وَمُوَازَرَةً. The ones that he had the highest estimation for were those who served the most and helped other people and consoled people. Those were the people he looked at, not the people sitting around doing nothing. It was the people serving. Because sometimes those people, everybody looks at them as the low ones. That's why they're doing the khidmah and they're doing the thing. And those were the people to him. That's why the old woman sweeping in the mosque, maybe nobody thought she was very significant, but she was in khidmah. And then وَيَعْطِي كُلَّ جُلَسَائِهِ نَصِيبَهُ. He gave all of the people that sat with him full attention, so that each one of them thought that they were the most important person in the majlis. Wallahi, إنما بعثت لأتمم مكارم الأخلاق. I was sent to perfect noble character. Allahumma salli alayhi. If somebody got angry in his presence or had some need and was forceful, he would be sabarahu. He would be patient with him, and he would do that to the point where that man would actually end up being calm or forgetting about what he wanted, because he was so patient. If anybody asked him anything, he never refused. And if they didn't get specifically what they wanted, they went out with words of wisdom and consolation from him. He encompassed all of these people with his character. He was like a father to them, and they were all the same as far as he was concerned in rights. And only he saw differences in taqwa. His majlis was a majlis of clemency, hilm, wa haya, modesty, sabr, trustworthiness. لا ترفع فيه الأصوات لا تؤبن فيه الحرم. Never voices were raised, never were anything that was holy and sacred in any way desacralized. All of them were humbled in his presence. Always he honored the older and he had mercy on the younger. And they would always help those in need. And they had special compassion for strangers and guests. And then he said, I asked about his qualities when he sat with people. And he said he was always smiling. He had gentle character. He had layyin al-janib. He was always kind and gentle with people. He was not harsh. He was not coarse. He never shouted. He did not use foul language. He rarely found fault. If he did, it was to point out something that was harmful. ما كان عيابا ولا مداح. He was not excessively praiseworthy. It doesn't mean he didn't praise. Madah is صيغة مبالغة. He didn't do praise that was not warranted. He would tell people أحسنت to encourage them. He would say نعم العبد فلان and speak highly of people to encourage. But he was not a madah. He didn't flatter. يتغافر عما لا يشتهي. He would, if he didn't like something, then he would just act as if he didn't notice it. No one ever despaired of him. And there were three things that were no part of his nature: ostentation, excessiveness, and things that didn't concern him. And he left three things he did not do towards people. لا يذم أحدا. He never blamed anybody. He never found fault. He never sought people's faults. He did not speak unless there was some reward that he thought would come from Allah. When he spoke, the people in his gathering lowered their heads as if birds were perched on them. And when he was silent, they spoke. They never argued in his presence. If anyone spoke in his gathering, they would all listen until that person finished his words, and then they would begin the speech with what they were talking about. He would laugh at what they laughed at. He would wonder at what they wondered at or marveled. يَصْبِرُ لِلْغَرِيبِ عَلَى الْجَفْوَةِ. If somebody who didn't know his gathering was harsh, then he was patient with them. And if he saw anybody, he would tell his companions, help him out if he was in need. He never sought any praise. And he never cut anybody off when they were speaking until they were finished or the gathering ended and they got up. And this is what Sufyan ibn Waki' related on this. And that's the character of our Prophet ﷺ. And the last reason, which is the highest reason for mahabba, is because of the huwa ahlul mahabba. And the reason he's ahlul mahabba is because he's Habibullah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ahabbahu wa alqa mahabbatahu fi qulubi man astafa min ibadihi. And he put his love in the hearts of people that have been graced with that love.